So here we are. I think this is now part 8 of the buy-to-let refurb tour. Now, a lot has happened since I last took you around the property. We're in a really good state. The rip out was completely finished. We're now putting in all of the second fixes. So all the first fix plumbing has already been done in the bathroom. All of the first fix electrics as well has already been completed. So we have lights, which is amazing. We've got all running, working water, and now I'm just starting to fit the bathroom, the kitchen, paint, tile loads of stuff, and it's looking really good. So let me show you around and show you where we are so far. So I thought I'd start back in the entrance. So this is the mountain of plastic and cardboard that we've got. Nothing has changed here. This is probably going to be one of the last bits of the house that we're going to change. The ceiling has been plastered, but I'm still waiting for a new circular window, which is the biggest pain I've ever tried to source. And then I've also got some new composite windows and doors coming as well, because these were the old timber ones and they're a little bit unsafe and broken. But otherwise, we've not touched anything in this room just yet. In the main living room, so we're testing some of the paint on the walls, and we've had the fireplace removed, and I've also had brand new skirting as well, and doors. So there's a half painted one that we've got there, just testing the paint on the back. So those will be fully white. At the moment, it's just got all the primer on them, which looks a little bit magnolia or yellow. So all the skirtings are down, and this room again is probably going to be one of the last ones we touch, because it's not too much work that's required. The ceiling is going to stay in. I do need to get a new back window because it's partially broken, so we'll get a new one in. And then going into what I'm calling the dining room for the moment. Again, not a crazy amount of change in here. These are the 2/3 rooms that we haven't really touched in the house. A lot has kind of gone on upstairs and in the kitchen as well. So we've had all of that plastered. If you remember before, there were some huge pine units that were really nasty, full of spiders, like awful big pine and concrete things. So I've had them ripped out. The whole thing's been replastered, so we've just got 2 nice alcoves, and it really opens up the space in the room as well. So this room will look really nice when it's done. I'm also going to get a brand new back window as well. It's a really old one from the 90s, so it's got 2 broken latches, but because it's so old, it's impossible to get hold of the parts. And because that window pane in the middle is blown, and then that one's also blown there as well, you can kind of see it's a little bit misty. By the time you ended up replacing the 2 windows and the 2 locks and latches, you may as well just get a whole new window for the cost and the effort. So new window is going to go in there as well. And then in here, we've got brand new spot lighting, which looks awesome. And there's been a lot of plastering in here as well. So we've got a brand new lowered ceiling actually. So that's how we got the spots in. We've also boarded up a hole in the wall there that I've got a bit of mist coat on. And then this is the kitchen. So it's from Howden's. It's not got any doors or units on it yet. But sorry, the units are in there, but the doors aren't. It's looking really good. We've got a really nice beige 3 lick paint from lickpaints.com, which looks really nice. It looks a little bit green on camera, but in person it looks more, I'd say, yeah, more kind of like oaky wood colour. And it's meant to match the oak effect worktop that we've got here as well. So the 2 should work together really well, along with the white tiles as well. So that'll be the splashback, and then we're just finishing off some of the tiling around the windows, and then that will go up to that level just there. So yeah, looking really good in here. I've had a brand new screeded floor as well, because before it was an absolute mess and it wasn't very even, which would mean that it's going to be a bit of a nightmare for the LVT. So it's looking a lot better. And around here, we're going to get a brand new back door as well. This is pretty much still looking the same. We've just got new spots in the ceiling, but it needs painting and cleaning up. Right, so that's pretty much it for the tour so far. The property's in a really good state. I'm really happy with it. It has taken a lot longer than what I anticipated. I did think that this would have been done within about 4 to 6 weeks, but that was because at the time, the scope of the project was a lot smaller. The idea was to recycle and reuse the kitchen, which when actually we looked at it in more detail, we just couldn't do. It was too destroyed, and there were cigarette burns in the laminate, and it was just a nightmare. So the scope of the project has massively increased, and I just found more and more problems. In reality, this project now has almost been a half back to brick project. So half the house was literally taken back to the bare bones, which I never anticipated. And this is fine in the world of property investing. This is what happens. And it also means that when you set a budget, for example, I set an £8,000 to £10,000 refurb budget, and now we're looking at spending about £16,000 to £17,000, which to some might sound really bad because the cost of the refurb has almost doubled. However, when I looked at the value of the properties, originally I valued this place at £130,000 to knock, but since it's been a crazy market and it's been a few more months due to the conveyancing process, the actual cost of the property now is about £144,000 because a lot of houses in this area as a 3-bed semi-detached are actually starting to sell for that price. And I can already see a few comparables on Rightmove that were sold more than 6 months ago. So in my head, there's more than enough profit within this project to justify spending the extra money. But at the end of the day, the house will look incredible. And the extra things that we're doing to it with the plumbing, it's got all brand new pipes and the new lighting that we've got as well. It just means that those things, hopefully, don't break too soon in the future. And that when this house is ready to hand over to a tenant, that it should be quite low maintenance because we've covered all of the major problems now, rather than just being a lazy developer or a lazy landlord and just letting things stay as they are, and then after a few months you have more leaks and more problems and end up having to go back again and again to fix things. So while we've got everything ripped out, it's easier and better just to fix it now and get it solved. And we've solved so many issues with damp and water problems from where we started, which is something that will hopefully pay back over the next few years anyway with low maintenance costs. But overall, the project should still make a decent £15,000 profit in my head and based on the numbers. So I'm going to do lots of videos back in my office and desk at some point over the next few weeks, and I'll talk about this project in way more detail, especially when it's done. We'll of course give you the final run through of the property and show you what it looks like, but also I think it'll be really interesting to go through a lot of the lessons learned and a lot of the issues and problems and things that I would change for next time, and just overall my experience of doing this. I've had quite a few trades in and out, but I'm actually doing the majority of work myself to get all of this done, which has been an awesome learning curve. It's been fun to refurbish a property, but at the same time, I'm still working massively in the business rather than on the business, which is something that I want to talk about in a lot of detail. So I hope you found this video useful. It's been an awesome few weeks working on the property. Can't wait to show you when everything is fully done, and then we'll definitely go back into the studio and office and get loads more theory videos done on this house and talk it through properly. So if you enjoyed this video, then definitely check out the full playlist, which you can find here, which is the full buying this property, going through all the renders and the 3D planning to the actual refurb updates. So check out this playlist and watch the entire process of this house. I guarantee you will really enjoy it. So click on here and I will see you in the next video.